it's not coming up. So like, is it just like a time thing? Is it only available? Sometimes you're like, no, it's just high. But it's not. I don't know if they renamed it or anything.
Okay. The stream's going, by the way. Oh, Colton. Yes. We live stream our meetings, and so like everybody's on camera. So if you mind being on camera, just let me know. Okay. Yeah. Guess we can start early. Well, on time-ish.
Oh, you got it? Awesome. Yeah. What did you do? Oh, I already had it.
I wonder if Brian's coming. But. Oh, yeah. I'm going to do this too. Did everybody have fun Halloween plans last night? Or the night?
The night before, yeah. Last night, no. I was working on my paper.
Well.
What was everyone dressed up as?
Oof.
Ooh.
What'd you say?
Same. Sad.
That was Darth Jar Jar.
Oh no! Did you have a mask?
Yeah.
Oh.
That was nightmare fuel. I even went on the bus coming back from a party on Swift, and of course no one looks up when they're all on their phone and blah blah blah. This one girl looks up, looks at me, screams and shudders a little bit, and then just starts breaking down laughing after realizing what I was. The true border. What?
Oh, well, I mean, it was a weeknight, so not gonna lie. Hard.
Yep. Took an L on my midterm the next day, but you know what? It's okay.
I feel I did that. Yeah, freshman year I did that and never again. Okay, so hello everybody, and hello to everybody on the live stream, or who's gonna watch this recording after this. I'm Simon, president of DDA. Today we're just planning on going through some of the task force stuffs that have come up, and introduce a few other things. I've been meeting with some people who have been wanting, and I mentioned this like consistently throughout the year, like NIRA and ACA and like partner club, but just a few things to announce about that. And today, Colton, are you wanting to talk about ASL, or are you just listening?
A whole bunch. I just figured I'd come, so when I come back to talk about it, I'm not just.
Oh, okay. Well, that's really good. I'm glad that we're on top of it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, we're just going to go through task force stuffs first. So anyways, start with some introductions. I already said I'm Simon. I was going to do Halloween stuff, but it sounds like everybody didn't do much, but except for Trent. I guess favorite, if you were like a Halloween candy, what would you be? I think I'd be like, I don't know, it'd be like a Whopper or something. They're not bad. Yeah.
I'm Gabrielle. Hi. I'm a first year, and I'm the secretary for DDA. And if I were a Halloween candy, I'd be a Kit Kat.
Aww. It's nice.
I'm Hannah. I'm a junior. Treasure in training.
She's gonna be the best of us.
And I think it'd be Skittles.
The rainbow.
I'm Trent. I'm the current treasurer of DDA. And if I was a Halloween candy, I'd be a Tide Pod. I'm very toxic to most people around me.
Wait, did you wait? You said Tide Pod? No. No.
I have a colorful looking demeanor on the outside, but the second you take a bite of me, I'm just pure toxicity.
You must have pre-planned.
Hi, how are you doing? Long time no see.
Yeah, true. How's everyone?
Doing alright, we're just talking about what kind of candy we are.
Oh, if you were
a Whopper, she's gonna be a Kit Kat. She's Skittles, and I'm a Tide Pod.
A Tide Pod.
Yeah.
What's your one? Is it your turn?
Yeah, it is my turn. I'm Colton. I'm not associated with PBA, but I'm in the ASL.
Now you are.
Now I am. Now I am.
Yeah.
I think personally, I feel like a Necco wafer.
A what?
A Necco wafer.
Oh.
I'm kind of bland. Like old women who love me.
That's attractive.
Did I say this is recorded?
You just followed my lead. You just spoke truth.
That's so funny.
This is hard. It's hard to separate what you like from what you are.
Oh, well, yeah.
I don't know. I'm a teacher, so maybe I'm a Snickers bar because I'm nourishing.
Ah,
Oh.
wow.
Yeah.
That was like infinitely more wholesome than. Well, I mean, Colton's was pretty wholesome, but Trent's.
I never said I was wholesome.
Okay. So yeah, just gonna go through some task force things. Trent, since you're here, anything with maps?
Yeah, so far there really hasn't been any other updates. I invited Manish and everyone else on the Maps task force to come over and if they wanted to talk, but we really haven't had anything since September. So Manish just said that they're just waiting for Brian to get back on updates on the tactile maps. But other than
Collab
that,
Brian?
what?
Collab Brian?
Another Brian, I think.
The guy with the prototype?
Yes.
Okay.
And then Jay also this morning mentioned that we should talk about what future buildings to try to work on.
Future buildings. Okay, so we're already thinking about expanding past West Union.
Yeah.
Because I guess we already have the
I
plans
mean,
for West
basically,
Union.
already have the first prototype.
That's. I feel like that doesn't register in my mind, which is like pretty cool that we've already done that.
West Union should like theoretically be like, among the hardest buildings, just
Yeah.
its size and its architecture.
Yeah.
But everything
So
else is
very-
pretty like bare bones and basic. With very.
You should do one of languages just to be ironic, like just like
Yeah, I mean, just like everything else much has pretty clean cut lines given the school's architectural styles. I imagine few would just be amazed to do or something like that, so we're probably gonna have to pick something else.
oh no, yeah, fuse the. I would need
I need
that.
too.
Yeah, like honestly,
I don't
you.
even know what that is.
It's the dorm like right there. It's a maze. You get lost so easily.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Well, the hospital is pretty.
Oh,
easy,
yeah.
so.
I circumvent the hospital whenever I go do it.
But I mean, the hospital, and this is for future consideration, the hospital is a place that obviously a lot of people with disabilities use and
Oh, yeah.
elderly people.
We should probably consider.
And so would be like a good like thing
That is a
to
good
use.
one.
It's not for undergrads though, you're never there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so you kind of have
Right.
to decide in terms of your priorities. Are we targeting the undergrad experience first or
Yeah. Chances are we will, but that's also a really good one to keep in mind.
yeah.
I feel like because it is a hospital, there's probably some sort of planning that went into people with disabilities having to, be there. But at the same time, it's Duke and it's old, so I wouldn't make that a guarantee.
Some of the issues are to do with certain parts of the hospital being older than others.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like narrow hallways and steps in surprising places, things
Okay.
like that.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Well, in case people don't know what the goal is for our maps task force, it's creating these tactile maps for different buildings that really model, that really include accessibility in kind of like points of accessibility and I don't even know what the term is. Like-
So essentially the maps are basic. The idea is to create them in a three-dimensional space, so that way people are able to actually, with visual disabilities, are able to feel it and then see where certain inaccessible and accessible locations are.
That was what I was trying to say. Thank you, Trent. Yeah, so I guess we're waiting for Brian.
Yep.
I guess he's just not responding. So
It's also makes sense.
Oh, he's a student. I thought he was a staff.
Yeah.
Is that Brian Rush?
No.
No, different Brian.
Different Brian.
Also, who uses a Y?
I don't know.
No, this
Okay.
this one uses an I.
Okay, so
I'll change it.
yes.
Oh, okay, you go.
Thank you.
Speaking of Brian.
Oh, hey.
And Jay. Wow. We got all the great surprises.
So, yeah, you want to talk say anything about the accessible maps right now? Because right now, unless that was a Slack message, there wasn't much to go off on.
Sorry, I kind of like
yeah,
put something away.
yeah, there's not really a whole lot going on. Yeah, luckily Brian was able to make it for our last meeting.
Yeah.
So we talked about the tech elements, and it looks like we made some progress on that. I don't know if Brian, if you have any more specific updates.
It's just a lot of work. It's more work than I expected because it's like transferring it from the PDF, and then I've got to figure out all the dimensions that are going to go into the SolidWorks file, and so it's just a long process of transfer.
Right, Brian, you're the one with the files on there? I thought it was a different Brian they were talking about in Slack message. Different?
Sorry.
Oh, whoops, that's embarrassing.
Oh, it is. So it is you, Brian.
It is our Brian.
Okay.
So it's not Brian with the prototype.
There's another Brian I'm aware of with the collab. But I had no idea that one was involved. I'm like,
No, he doesn't have the
I guess
prototype.
it is.
Oh, so okay.
Okay, so it is our favorite Brian.
Our favorite Brian. we were debating whether it was Brian with a Y or not.
Well, such a Manish said with an I, I'm like, oh, I know that dude. But I didn't know he was involved with this project.
Yeah, I don't even know what this I need to figure out.
Evidently, neither does Manish.
Oh,
As far as the labor intensivity goes, I mean, that does concern me because I feel like it shouldn't be this laborious thing that you guys are taking on and not getting credit for it. So I'm kind of wondering if there's any way to incorporate it into some capstone or a course and get credit for the work that you're doing, using fluid dynamics and other skills that you're cultivating in your classes.
So that particular the modeling piece, the fluid dynamics piece, I think it's fairly kind of a little away from that.
Okay.
Because we don't really have anybody with the skill to do that, and we're continuing the project for what other people left out. So that part we're moving away from, but yeah, back now that's just a little bit different. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Brian, but I think the idea here is to kind of develop a process for
Any sort of like it's going to be a little bit labor intensive on the front end.
Right.
So yeah.
And I'm just wondering if, like, down the road, this is the kind of thing you could apply for funding for, get those experts on board to help with the process. I don't know if it's graduate students or what level, but the administration to stand behind as like a project that benefits the community, the whole community. You know, I think there's a similar project at Vanderbilt, led by Amy Boulet, that was a disability studies scholar who does design work. And I think there's like a team of students and they're doing something very similar. So maybe we could reach out to them and see how they got funding and what exactly they're doing, right? I don't think they know of any other schools that have similar projects, but I don't know. I just wonder what we can learn and think about like for the future. I mean, probably not this year, but
definitely, yeah. If you send contact information
Yeah.
to us, I think someone who wants to
Yeah.
contact them.
yeah.
Unless someone else from the DA was already doing that, but
I think we could.
I think I showed Manish a link to Amy Henry's website or something last year, but I don't know if they've been in touch. So
okay, yeah.
I can try and
I
figure
don't
that out.
think he's already been in touch.
Okay.
But
Also, wasn't Manish doing this?
How did you know how to spell that?
At least that was.
Oh, we did a
like,
read.
Oh my god.
oh,
Mapping
no,
access.
it's student government, so
I was so confused.
Yes, it's called the Mapping Access Project. So it sounds pretty similar.
Just thinking like on Duke's campus, it would be like what Office of Institutional Equity would be one person, like administration to reach out to, and then honestly, like it could be a Pratt project. Like
Right.
Pratt
A
has
class could take it on or
exactly. There's enough
Oh,
classes
yeah.
that have like design projects that could be just shoehorned into one of those, whether it's a freshman group learning the CAD or
Yeah, which class is it that that requires counting?
So right now it's EGR 101 is learning how to CAD, but then learning how to CAD, there's like 5 modules which are like circuitry, thing, woodwork, and a couple others. But then there's like design projects, and so they pull from Duke, they pull from like the health system, they pull from all these different areas, and they in teams of 5 they take on projects that involve different skills, and so some are very CAD focused, some are very woodworking focused, and so based upon what you're interested in, you're able to kind of gravitate to a particular project. I think this would be this actually could be a possible one, and moving forward in particular. What I'm hoping for personally is getting some sort of project out by the end of the semester. That could be showable for like future things. So we have a working model that we can then show like, hey, see, here's what we can do, and then possibly move it forward next semester and get the more administration stuff in the line.
I don't know if you guys already talked about this, but I think one thing we were looking for is definitely feedback on what
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So do you guys know any specific feedback on particular locations that you think
I said languages ironically.
We talked about the hospital actually, as being, and we decided we should figure out what our priorities are, whether it's spaces that undergrads use a lot, socially, right? Like the Bryant Center would be a kind of obvious next step, if that's the priority. But if the priority is to create something that's of benefit to the broader community, you think about the hospital, I think. Yeah.
So expensive.
Which is huge, huge.
What about on East?
So that would
too?
be like, I don't
East
know,
has-
yeah.
I don't know. Any freshmen on East have any input? Like, I don't know how many.
I mean, the only
Colton, are you a freshman or are you? Okay. Do you guys have any like buildings in mind on East that you think are like particularly in need of a map? Probably.
because individual dorms is like
Yeah, that's yeah.
Honestly, though, all the dorms on the main floor are all the exact same.
Yeah.
You make one, and you make
Oh,
all of
interesting.
a dozen.
That's actually useful though, yeah.
Oh,
That's
interesting.
so
Because they're so
scalable.
cookie cutter, you can kind of
You make one,
cover a
and
lot more ground.
all of
Yeah.
a sudden you have half of campus covered.
Ooh.
Strategically, that's smart.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I like strategic.
What do you
Okay.
think, Jay?
Yeah, I mean, I think
Look,
definitely
team
these are all
measures.
great things to think about. So I think one piece of it is, of course, the tactile maps, and then another piece is like just marking out like PDFs of like the layouts. Because like the one thing that we can do with just the PDFs is put those online if you have like the library and stuff. And, everyone in the youth community can then access those maps. They don't have to go to those buildings and they want to like every time they have an event, they don't have to go ahead of time and type out. You know what the layout is? They'll have that online. So yeah, those are the I guess the two pieces to consider. I think like these are all great questions because I really I'm sure like even if it's not undergrad, like there are a lot of like maybe reference groups and like, other people within the deep community would need the hospital. So that's definitely a good thing to think about. I think
It's huge.
yeah.
Throw that out there.
So I mean, so even if you didn't get the tactile after that, or even if you got PDF, it still might be helpful. So something to think about. I think we'll be meeting tomorrow, so we can definitely talk about all of this. Yeah. But thanks for the feedback.
Okay. When is your meeting tomorrow?
I think it's at 1. I'm just confirming that. But if you stick with the regular time, it should be at 1. If it's not, I'll let you know.
In where?
Sorry, it's usually we meet at like the DSP office.
Oh, in Bryan Center.
Yeah.
This is like the 0th floor.
No, I think it's the middle floor. The second floor.
Isn't that the 0th floor? Oh, that's the first floor? Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
This is why we need these maps.
Wait, actually,
Okay.
Why don't you say ground floor?
There's 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Three's
but Bryan Center 101 is like right next to the
Oh god, that's so
But
confusing.
that's the third floor.
An elevator flipped in
Yeah.
3, 2,
Oh, okay.
going down.
Oh.
Oh no.
This is why we need these maps.
And I think we should be collaborating with administrators who might be able to help straighten out some of the things that are just confusing about the environment.
That's
Like
yeah,
elevator labeling's not matching the numbers.
Oh,
for
right,
example.
right.
That sounds like a deeper problem.
Okay, for the sake of time, I think we should move on to like other agenda thing or other task force things maybe. Not that. So I know for Cultural Center, we've scheduled our next meeting, right? So that will be at, I've already forgotten. So that's during reading period. Okay. But that'll be with, again, Vice Provost McMahon. And this time, are we bringing in Gary Bennett? I forget. Okay.
Yeah, it's been like hi, I'm BB.
Oh, why don't we do introductions for people who came in late after we finish with this?
Yeah. So a couple weeks ago we met with Vice Provost McMahon, and she's a new Meta, and she was very receptive to our proposal for the cultural center. It was great talking to her. But she said that we need to all of this. And she said suggested she's going to suggest that we do again in the next like a month or two. To kind of, and she'll do some work on her end, we should try to do some work on our end, basically figure out the feasibility of this and where we can, where she can pull like funding from and things of that nature. We told her we have like a deadline, like we ideally have a deadline for spring 2020, and we just having a plan of like where this really cultural center is going to be and what it's going to look like. So she said she'll talk to administrators. In our meeting, she was mainly trying to understand like what the progression has been thus far, like before she got here. So yeah, so our next meeting is on Monday, December 9th. It's during reading period. The finals will start with Wednesday, so it's not like
Right.
for your final exam. So we'd love if you guys could come, especially in Canadian, she asked if it's pretty specifically. And
Oh yeah, cookies.
We gave her the supplementary report on like existing disability cultural centers in other universities, and our objective with that was to like kind of provide a template that we could like work off of, so it's not like we're starting from scratch, but still like keeping in mind like, oh, this is what works well in this campus, but there are also some things that we can do better. So like, how do we take all of that into account? So it's exciting. I have high hopes. Awesome.
We have been working on this for like 2 years. So,
Yeah.
and by we, I mean everybody before me too.
The cultural center task force had discussions about what you prefer in terms of management of the space once it exists. Like you guys talked about. I mean, because some of the centers that we listed on the sheet were ones that were just spaces, you know, other times full-time staff and would have programming. The one that I researched, Minnesota, they have student staff, but they're volunteers. They don't get paid, right? And so it's like their DBA are like students who are in this office. You know, they take shifts Monday through Thursday or something like that. And I don't know. I mean, for me as a model, I feel like that would be difficult for us to sustain. I mean, if we were getting paid, that would be one thing. But not getting paid and having to staff it full time is, again, we get back to that labor intensive problem.
Actually, we could probably work something out with the financial aid office so students could get something work study done. And then you see people like students sitting at like working the box office or cleaning up the student at desk, like in the library.
Right.
And I don't think there's a lot of work study students wanting jobs.
Yeah.
Should there be, no, not at all, but should there be a mechanism for any kind of training for those students who are gonna work there in terms of just awareness of disability sensitivity issues, disability justice, what that means?
Think about that.
So, maybe that I'm aware of for that.
Chances are we'll have to make some, or at least find a model of one that's already been established and be able to do it. I think another thing that would help is probably that has, well, it's not the most important to have at least one full-time staff in there to cover times that students just don't want to or are unable to do. And to
I mean, ideally, it'd be great if we could hire like a disability studies person. I mean, and there's a precedent for this. There was a job last year in University of Illinois Chicago that was advertised, and loads of PhDs with disability studies backgrounds were applying for it. Running a center like this.
Yeah, and for the University of Miami, Ohio, their cultural center had 3 full-time.
Wow.
But granted, it was connected directly to their student disability, their version of the SEAO,
Yeah.
so it's kind of like the same staffers moved over combined use cases.
So yeah, So I feel like if we're not connected to the to SDAO, which is for everybody who is not familiar, is the Student Disabilities Access Office, is where people go to request accommodations, classroom accommodations, living accommodations, right? Is
I
anything
mean, I
else?
think physically we're gonna have to be separated from them. Just
Yes.
because if you put the space in their office, nobody will ever go. Because it's designed
There's
to
no
be kind
point.
of
Yeah.
out of the way because it's about like privacy protections.
Right.
No buses that you can go there.
Yeah, that's
Well, yeah, you
ridiculous.
could walk from the Rubenstein Arts Center stop, and it's kind of far.
It's really far.
Um,
I think it's like a whole.
few blocks.
Yeah. Anyways,
With hills.
with hills. Okay. We'll I think we should type up before our meeting, we should type up these points like staffing preferences,
So we feel like one
space
staff,
preferences, and
and then work study students.
yes,
Is a good model.
I think, yeah. So we should definitely explicitly tell them. I'm afraid they'll go back on some of the things they like bring up as ideas and just like, oh, we never really said that we'd do that. You know, I mean, that's just how administration works, you know.
So the idea of staff did not come up in the previous meeting?
Not for an extended period of time. We talked about like, you know, the secondary report, which included all the different descriptions of other cultural centers on other campuses. And, you know, staffing came up naturally with that, but again, not explicitly. Which I think is why we need this second meeting anyway, so I think it's fine.
And our initial report based on the survey that we did, I think it demonstrates that like because with the types of services that are requested, like and stuff, like with those kinds of services, you really need a staff member to ensure that those actually that those services are provided. So I think that the survey that we did definitely supports that.
So I guess maybe a good next step would be before this meeting in December is to maybe create another report, for lack of a better word, and this time it details like what would our ideal cultural center look like.
It's kind of cool. It's like going from all the different ones
Yeah.
and then finally amalgamating into what we
Yeah,
want.
based on
It's
what
like a
Duke
one
students. Yeah.
Exactly, and maybe it listed in some sort of priority order. It's like if we can only have like ideally we want these 10 things, but if we can only have like 4, then we want these like 4 things.
Yeah.
And then I can also reach out to Gary Bennett and invite him to join our meeting.
Okay. Yay. It's always exciting to talk about this. So for ASL, Usually Simran updates us, but Colton, since you're here, do you want to? I know you guys just finished your curriculum for your course.
Right.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Well, okay. We only recently started the courses. So
Okay.
I think on Thursday we had our 4th lesson,
Okay.
which is still looking promising. I mean, 15 to 20 people coming is really important for us.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah, especially when we start advocating for a course.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
So that's
Where
more
are you
some
guys?
language courses.
Yeah.
Yeah, if anyone doesn't know, it's in the Thompson building on
Okay.
Thursdays. So
What times on
it's
Thursdays?
6 to 7.
6 to 7.
6 to 7 in Thompson 137.
Classroom 137.
And so we do have one committee which is more centered on what GBA is interested in, which is the active committee.
Right.
And we haven't started meeting yet, but we will on Tuesday to plan kind of the ways we should approach staff and faculty actually supporting our initiatives, because right now in the fall semester, before we start trying to get advocated for courses for some sort of not department, but that's the best word I can come up with. We want to have certain areas of faculty behind us, such as the language department, because an issue we came before, I believe, was people not believing that ASL is a language,
Yeah.
despite that being very untrue.
Also, it's literally in the L of ASL. It's a language.
Well, then it's not for.
Exactly. That's not right.
That's so dumb.
Which is already an issue, since it being an American language should be well taught throughout the United States. There's an accessibility issue for that.
I agree 100%. I think that to just kind of represent where all those departments are coming from, the issue that you're going to have to think about responding to is the fear that this will decrease enrollments in other language courses. I think that they're facing a lot of really low enrollment and sometimes classes getting canceled and stuff in the foreign languages department. And recently, when the curriculum committee tried to revise the whole curriculum, which was shot down, but they tried a couple years ago to revise the whole undergrad curriculum, and languages in particular felt particularly targeted by the new curriculum that was proposed because it diminished the language requirements that you guys would have had to pursue as undergrads. And so they really mobilized around that, and I think that was a big reason why that curriculum did not pass, was because no one who taught any languages wanted to support it. They were really fearful for their enrollments. So we have to think about how we're going to address that issue of like adding a new language takes away from the other languages. And so maybe you can find, just like what Brian is doing for the curriculum committee, researching other programs and the impact that they had on the university. What does it mean when you introduce new languages into the curriculum? Ones that are spoken, not sign language, and did this diminish enrollment, and how did it impact things? Just to kind of specifically deal with this issue, because there's going to be a lot of resistance there. And that's why they feel like these classes are going to take away from our classes. So that's just to represent.
Yeah.
It's not even like they might say this isn't a language or this isn't foreign, but I feel like that's covered for protecting their enrollments. So that's what we're up against.
Okay. I feel like since all Trinity students are required to take 3 semesters of a language, there really shouldn't be like a shortage of students. Like it's just going to be a change in distribution, which is already skewed anyway. So it's like the raw numbers of students that are going to be everyone aren't languages in general aren't going to change, but yeah.
I don't know. I mean, this
Yeah.
isn't something that I've ever studied
The
myself.
solution is to make more grad students take language, which is
They'll say it's a zero sum enrollment.
I don't know if anybody would want that.
Harvard took Italian for no reason at all.
I mean, there's Pratt students who take languages, but
I mean, if grad students would take any language, I think this would be one of the ones.
Yeah.
Oh, prep students aren't required to take them.
No.
Nope.
No.
We're not required to
that's
do
a point
anything.
To really push on that.
I don't think Brad.
I remember.
Social sciences and it's like there's also like a range data component.
90% of the engineers I know to fulfill that requirement took the history of science.
Oh my god.
So they're very one track.
One weird question that's kind of related to this languages requirement thing is for the CS majors in here, do computer languages count as your foreign language?
I sure hope they don't.
I sure hope.
I know some because I know some schools in like the University of Miami down in Florida take comp sci as a foreign language. Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, you can make that argument saying that, like, you know, if these other schools can take, like, you know, Python as a foreign language, then why can't then ASL shouldn't have a problem at all? Yeah.
Wow, that makes me so mad.
Yeah, I have a BME grad student friend. He's just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna work. He's also from Miami. He's like, I never learned Spanish, nothing. Just I coded for a little bit, and then that's all. That was like what language requirement. Yeah.
That was such a good quote.
I don't think I've ever elicited such a reaction.
Yeah, I know. I just thought it was so
And I said a
funny.
lot of stupid shit here.
That's exactly what I thought. I sure hope it does. Okay, let's. Oh yeah, I forgot introductions for people who just came. So I guess.
I can go. Hi everyone. I'm Jay. I used to be the president of the Disability Alliance about 2 years ago. So now I'm just here. I'm on the mapping task force and also on the cultural center task force. So those are my
What can would you be if you were a holiday?
Oh yeah, that's what we did at the beginning.
Oh, that's a very good. I had some really good peanut M&Ms the other day. I'm gonna say that.
Would you be a singular peanut M&M?
What color?
I would be a red peanut M&M.
Oh wow. Okay.
Hi everyone, as I said, I'm DC, I'm a senior, I was president of the Disability Alliance last year, and now I'm on the DSC cabinet, where I've been the director of disability policy and advocacy. And if I were Halloween, I would be a dark chocolate limited truffle.
Oh wow. Ooh. It's the classiest one we've heard.
Who's getting that in their Halloween bed?
No one.
You gotta go to Chapel Hill for that.
Yeah. Commentary.
I'm Brian. I'm a senior. I just got involved with DDA this year because my life's been way too busy. And I'm involved with the curricular task force and just got involved with the mapping task force. And what Halloween? Let's go for sweet tart.
Sweet and sour. A little bit acidic.
So,
Faith, you wanna?
I am Faith. I'm a freshman. And I'm outreach this year. And that was a holiday.
Pieces or cup?
Or the cereal.
Or the cereal?
Yeah.
Basically straight candy. I have like
Reese's pretzels? What? That sounds amazing. What? Oh, so many things we learned this meeting. Okay. So we still have one more. I feel like Brian, you have a lot to say, and well, you too, Dr. Q. So I heard we sent out our first draft. So just to catch everybody up, and this is where I'm at too. So curriculum task force, we're trying to build up a program around disability studies at Duke. We're starting by sending out a survey that will gauge interest in this interdisciplinary kind of departmental. We don't really know what it is yet, but we're gauging interest among the student body. And so I think Ali was leading that team, or like where Ali was for the survey. And so they finally have finished that draft and they've sent it to Deborah Jensen and Tony Goggin?
Joel
Not Tony.
Crawford
Why does he
Smith,
Tony?
who is the web accessibility guru.
Is his title Guru?
No.
Okay, that'd be cool though.
He's like, I don't know his actual title, but that's what he does.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
Technically, Trent is Master of Coin, Supreme Lord Commander, Master of Coin, on the Constitution. Thanks to Jay.
Well, I don't know. 'Cause I think I kept forgetting to actually put it in.
No. You tricked him this whole time. Anyways, so yeah, going from there.
Yeah, we got the feedback back. Do you want to give the update on the feedback? I feel like you know it better than I do.
Sure. Let me get the email.
It's
Okay. So there's some accessibility issues. So it's a good thing that we reached out to him because our survey, we used Google Forms. We initially wanted to go with SurveyMonkey because it's more accessible, but it only allows you to do 10 questions. And if you want to do more than 10 questions, you have to pay money.
That's stupid.
So Ali did it on a Google form, and we just imported all of the questions from our little worksheet that we've been working on and sent it to Joel. He said, because a lot of our questions were things like, how do you go about choosing your major? Like, what are the important factors in choosing your major? And we had like on a scale of 1 to 5, how important are the following? And it was like course content, teaching quality. We had like a bunch of different categories, and they were scaled 1 to 5. And he said that those ratings aren't clear on a screen reader, so it has to do with like the formatting of the questions, et cetera. And he said we have to work on our color contrast a little bit. I think the form is a white text on teal, so higher contrast, obviously. He said something about testing it with the wave tool, which I don't know what that is. I don't know if you know what that is. He said that would raise quite a few errors. And he says, but in real life, I don't think those errors will be significant barriers. If it was sent out to the general public, some people might make a complaint based on wave, but not testing it in real life. All of that means nothing to me. I mean, really, in terms of like wave versus real life, because I don't know what wave is. So I'm sort of just like, okay, thank you for telling us that, but I don't really know
Please elaborate.
what it means. So we need to work on that. And then at the end, we just said something like, maybe try a different one next time. I don't have any specific recommendation right now.
Perhaps
Because it
Qualtrics.
depends on what widgets are used, and then help text content that goes with each question. So another thing that he said we should do is give help text, like more directed language within each question about what the format is.
It's like, please,
Of the
like if you had a
response.
scale,
Yeah,
like click on.
Yeah, like clarifying every time, 1, not important, 5, very important, that kind of thing. But I think that the task force should have another meeting to kind of, just chew on all of this feedback and try.
That was a lot of
figure it out.
feedback.
Well, that was just from Joel.
Yeah,
I
I was
also
about
had
to say,
feedback from
that
Deborah
was-
Jensen as well. She wants us to revise the health humanities definition to something more flexible. And so she said she would write that for us. So I'll just send her a reminder. And she also said that she feels like the survey generates too much data and that we should just shorten it in general. Which, that's fine. I actually feel like we said we wanted it to be a quick survey and we ended up with something longer. We haven't tested it out yet to see how long it takes to do. So maybe we could cut all of those 1 to 5, scale 1 to 5
Like
things and
the-
just like hit 2 birds with 1 stone, address both pieces of feedback at once by just
Sure.
eliminating those parts of the survey
Sure.
because like
Yeah.
maybe it's not as important to us why students choose the courses they choose. I think we have some theories about that, but maybe it's just more about getting it on paper this many students would be interested in these kinds of courses.
You could-
Maybe that's
You could shorten it into like list what factor, or like select which factors are important
it
to
could be
you,
a
or like
list, and you could check
yeah.
all that apply that might be more accessible.
I think that's easier to.
yeah.
I mean, it's less data for sure.
Yeah.
You know, you don't
Something
need
like
the,
that. Then it
the
would be like
relative
one-
ratings, right? You just
Exactly.
need.
Then it would be one
think-
sort of.
You also,
Chart
yeah,
rather
because the
than-
way you present your variables also makes it easier or harder for you to actually visualize and compute the data.
Yeah. I don't do statistics, so I
Trent,
wouldn't.
do you know about this stuff? Like, do you know about like what the questions are going to look like on the back end? Do you come to our
It's like-
meetings?
Not, I mean, yeah, I can try. I'm
We
not
haven't
an
scheduled it yet.
I'm not an expert at
Like someone who knows about
surveys,
stats.
and surveys and stuff. I just remember a lot of this because I took as a psych major, I'm required to do a statistical surveys course and stuff like that. So that's why I suggested Qualtrics, because that was one of the accessibility was one of the issues we talked about in class. How you framed the question, how you talked about it, how you visually presented it.
Right.
and
Someone
things like
told me,
that.
I think it was Lee Ficklin from SDAO who told me that Qualtrics isn't accessible, or just like that there are issues with it.
I wouldn't be surprised.
But like, it feels like there's issues with every
Every,
kind
I
of
mean,
There's not a perfect platform. So.
Yeah. Like if we somehow got our survey down to less than 10 questions, we could go back to SurveyMonkey, but I don't think we're gonna get it that
I
way.
really don't
Yeah.
think so. Maybe Qualtrics isn't the most accessible, maybe, but neither is Google Forms. It's just gonna have to hash it out.
Okay. Maybe I'll just write to Joel and be like,
What
do you
about
think of Qualtrics?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also know that you can just go through a wide array. Like you can do basically every type of like question format that you can think of. Qualtrics has it.
Yeah.
And it's just your basic white background with black text, which will put me to sleep, but at least it's very contrasting.
Yeah.
Make it pink. Pink and pink.
Like you can put sliders on it, selections, and it compiles all the data together.
Okay.
At the end for whoever owns the Qualtrics forms. So basically, you don't have to do any like Excel manual typing into it.
Okay.
I also have a friend who just got hired by them, so I think that's on
By
What?
Qualtrics?
Oh wow.
Okay.
Connections. When's the next meeting for Curriculum Task Force?
Oh, yeah, we don't. I was
Okay.
going to text Allie about that. Yeah, probably at this point will be next Sunday.
Next Sunday. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I have a couple other things. Thank you for everybody updating. We had a lot of updates this week. Oh my gosh.
Side to curriculum task force.
Oh, right. The archival.
So I've delved into the archives. I don't know if this
Oh,
is
from last week.
I don't know if I'm able to tell anybody any of this information still.
What is
What?
this graph?
So yeah. Anyways, yeah, I was able to get into the ICS documents and was able to start going through. There is
It's like this intense like web network. that I'm looking at.
yes, that's the curricular plan. There's four primary folders. One is like internal workings. One is and internal programming. One is like how they're presenting that programming to like the administration. Then there's like two curricular reports and how they built their curriculum in the earlier period. I mean, it's just a lot of mumbo jumbo. I really don't think we need to go through all of this. There's a lot of good material. It's 15 courses total. There's there's 4 or 5 central courses, and then with like 4 language, 4 region for ICS is what we're looking at. It's a program, and a program doesn't have it's a program instead of a department. And so there's only like a director and then a couple of like primary staff who teach those 4 or 5 central courses. It's always been like that in essence. And just picking up some language that they're using, like distinct coherence, dynamics, institution in a singular topic, instruction in a singular topic, vehicles for systematic introduction, like all this like weird administration jargon that I never would have known is important, that they have in all their letters. Even like talking about like what's the current weaknesses here and how that can be used to apply for resources. So sometimes there and just different ways of angling things that are really good.
Do you have stuff, or have you encountered things on how they found funding in those early days?
Yes, no. Distinct like endowment stuff.
Right. I mean, just because of the way that the teaching labor actually
Yeah.
plays there, they have that core of faculty, but it's mainly faculty in other departments
Exactly.
teaching those courses, and you need to get commitments from those departments to give them like the course releases from whatever other teaching they were having to
Yeah.
do to do these courses.
Yeah.
And so you kind of need to get
Well, that's
Well,
a lot of extra red tape to go
financial
through.
So
that's what we have to do.
the pulling from other courses,
Yeah.
they're not being pulled.
Okay.
They're just being cross-listed.
Okay.
Those are already like pre-established courses, and so they're not really pulling any responsibilities through
Yeah.
that. So the one thing that I did notice that continuously came up in the early period is lobbying with alumni and the number of alumni events that they had, pulling people in to say, well, here's what I did, and like getting donations and stuff like that from alumni, and having these like I can tell you the favorite cheeses from the late 90s because of how many like menus I had to read.
What is it?
What pimento?
Oh God.
In the South.
Oh my god. Yeah, there was these just big alumni events, and
What are they?
Just what? Yeah. And a lot of effort put into those, and I don't know how exactly that would be formed with this.
So for us, I would say that it would not be our responsibility or mine as faculty. I'm actually not allowed to like solicit donations from alum or donors. Like that's like not allowed to. And I don't know if students are either. I don't know, but that's for the Office of Development. So our job is to like make the proposal, right, to the university, talk about how funding might work. We need to come up with a budget, actually. Not for you guys. This is for me and Deborah to do the budget and figure out how much it would cost, and then the Office of Development would then go and find the funding and organize these alumni events or whatever else they might do for that. So that's not something for you guys as students to worry about.
Do you want me to like
Yeah.
slip you some of the alumni stuff, like to take better notes of the alumni stuff ICS was doing?
No.
No.
Because I feel like that's not going to be something we're going to do. That's going to be for the Office of Development. Like we can communicate to them about that it's this program, the level of student interest. Like we just have to show student interest.
Yeah.
We just have to show that students are going to take these classes, and then benefit the university in so many different ways, benefit the world, benefit the community outside. And I feel like people know that it would.
Yeah.
I feel like we've kind of already made that case. But what we need to do now is show like what it would look like and to work out some of the logistical stuff.
It's like any investment, they want to have a clear plan.
Yeah, exactly. So is that all you were going to share from the archive?
Yeah, this is all I've got. It wasn't like going through it with a fine tooth comb or
Yeah,
anything like
yeah.
that.
So
Yeah.
So the funding stuff that I just asked you about, that was mainly alumni events.
Yeah, all that I found
So
in
they
the
didn't like go to the other department chairs and be like, commit $20,000 or okay. Interesting.
yeah. And I'll also put it this way. I went through one box of 4 boxes.
Mhm.
So there's 3 other boxes.
Oh my God.
And So honestly too, when it was kept coming across the alumni stuff, I mean it's like 70% of the box was just alumni events. And I just kind of, because as you say, that's not your thing. That's not my thing either. And that's sort of just like, I'll just push this off to the side and not think about it.
That's probably wise. Yeah.
So yeah. And I guess the interesting thing that I was thinking is like with ASL, and how do you integrate ASL into this? Like you're saying, like trying to find like, is it a department or where does it would more than likely fall under this in some function, I feel. Because I mean, it's not like there's no just like language course, if you know what I'm saying. So it would need to fall under something, and it being there, like so, like even like so, like
You mean like a French is like romantic studies?
exactly.
Ah.
Arabic is under Asian and Middle Eastern studies.
So it would be under the disability studies.
It
That-
would be under the disabilities.
That makes a lot of sense.
But then where that all of a sudden throws a wrench in this thing is ICS as a program doesn't have any languages.
So we're new. We're kind of
And so this probably will take its own term.
Okay. All All right. Well, it's very complex, obviously, logistically.
I'm just still thinking from the money standpoint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my job. How do we solicit money?
You want to come read some boxes of solicitations?
I have a lab paper. But after Tuesday, then yes.
After Tuesday? All right.
Okay.
Let's set this
But
up.
I have a plan. So you're gonna be Ryan Brush. You're gonna be
Ryan
Candy, and I'm gonna be Laurent Tao, and we're gonna just start sending emails out to people on behalf of the Alliance of Duke Disability.
Perfect.
So I guess I have one more update before we break, which is that Deborah Jensen and I had a meeting with Ed Ballison and John Blackshear to talk about the curriculum. They, like I said, they get the value that it would be to the intellectual community. They get the draw that it would be for students. Everybody's just kind of baffled by like, what is it going to be? Are we going to have a certificate, or
Yeah.
what would it look like to have it be something like ICS? And that was where the fear of it taking students away from other classes in the humanities comes in. And so that sense of enrollments is a zero-sum game, and how can we make sure that this program is going to help the humanities rather than harm the humanities? So that was something that we talked about. Basically, where the meeting ended up was that they want a very clear budget from us on what it would cost to run this program, like how many staff we need. There would need to be commitments from all of the faculty who would be teaching in it, and their departments would have to commit sustainable sources of funding. We talked a lot about how the Health Humanities Lab, how its funding was always conceived of as a startup or a launch pad, and that we need to then find the more sustainable sources of funding on campus from the traditional disciplines. So that has to be our next steps, a lot of communicating with people in charge of those other departments. So that's our plan. We're gonna try and have a budget meeting with Chris Chia from FHI and with Cookies Robledo, who's the who used to be DVA president and now works at Duke as the Health Humanities Lab manager. So those are our next steps from like my perspective. And Jules Odendahl James created a course list of all the health humanities courses that are being offered in the spring. So that's really great because it's better than the course list I had been maintaining, which is just like, here's everything that's been like taught in the last 5 years, just like department by department, but I don't know if it's going to be offered in a given semester because I don't have the time to comb through everything. But Jules did it, and so I sent that to our class actually, so you should have it, Gabrielle. It's a course list of everything. And I feel like we could send that out to our membership, maybe in like the recap email, and be like, "Hey, are you guys book
Good place to
bagging?
start.
Here's some classes if you like disability stuff. If you like,
Especially for
stuff, these are
because sophomores and freshmen haven't registered yet.
right. And
So-
so if these courses are getting good enrollments, that helps make the case for our proposal as well, because these are the kind of courses that would be included in the program
Right.
eventually. So, yeah, so that's everything from me.
Perfect timing. Well, I didn't get to my other announcements, but I'm not gonna read this whole blurb. But
Oh, from Emma.
so Emma Stedman, she's a sophomore mechanical engineer here. She started. She took Dr. Q's class last fall. She's bringing. So if any of you know Runway of Dreams, would highly recommend looking it up and watching one of their videos.
Adaptive clothing.
Yeah, adaptive clothing design, which is really cool. So this person called Mindy, I think, she and her son, she started designing fashionable outfits and clothing for her son who, I can't remember. I think he had I can't remember, but he identifies as having a disability. So, and this started this whole thing of like people coming in now, they have this like whole designing thing going on, and they have this national organization, and then now they're trying, Emma's trying to bring it to Duke as a student group, and I think that's super cool. It's a great intersection between accessibility and fashion, which is like, I think a huge, like, the clothes we wear needs to be.
It comes up in my class a lot.
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
That's kind of interesting.
People just like bring it in. It's not something that, well, maybe we'll talk about it actually next week in our design unit.
Ooh, I like that unit a lot.
Yeah.
By the way. I still remember.
Yeah, so it's something that I think students might be interested in actually getting involved in. So you just help her spread the word.
Yeah. So that if you're interested in like fashion accessibility design. Yes, and then the other announcement is that, and I've announced I've talked about Autoimmune Campus Alliance before, which Naira is kind of helping starting up, and we've decided we're gonna start with ACA being a DDA affiliated group for now, and she's gonna try to develop a community around this group, which is really creating a community around chronic illness, and having a space that's friendly to like good for advising people how to navigate through Duke with a chronic illness. No, they don't. There's you're talking about the chronic. See, that's through the HHL, and that's pretty cool too.
And I think Naira is involved in that too.
Yeah, so she's trying to. Yeah, she wants to create something more like our Disability Cultural Center. She's like, oh, space, and I was like, you can use our space, Anyways, all right. Sorry for holding everybody over, but
2 minutes, not too bad.
yeah, thanks for coming, everybody. Next week.
So great to see everybody. It's great to meet you.
So next week our meeting is gonna be more chill, just community, one of our community GBMs. So not full of task force stuff. Like you're just gonna hang out, talk about stuff. I'll try to bring food. Thank you to Trent for getting donuts last time.
Yeah, I gotta remind myself to go right
I'll
in person.
message
Oh,
the
gosh.
group me and see if people can meet.
Bye, DT.
Sunday, is that
Next
good?
Sunday, yeah, next Sunday at 2 is the time that.
Okay.
If you still need like survey stats help, I'm not sure how useful I am, but I can always like give it my best shot, and of course I can always talk to my culture friend.
Are you available Sunday at 2 next week?
Sunday, I would prefer a little bit. I have a workshop that ends at 2, and I have something at 3. So anytime in between, I can probably try.
That's good.
So yeah,
Where do you work?
the Innovation Co-Lab.
So it's close to the Bostock Library?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's perfect then.
Okay. Yeah. So just let me know. Yeah, that's basically it. And with the box of stuff, I'm serious about like just talk to me after Tuesday because I have a site.